All right. I kind of put the cart before the horse there, in that we were talking about how to color correct before we were talking about how to analyze the image properly. So let's take a look at that. What we're going to look at today are histograms and trying to get a good neutral image built from Blackmagic footage. To bring up your histograms in Speedgrade, all you have to do is tap the A key. And here is all your visual information. The one I look at the most is this one, and I also look at this one. These are the parades, I believe they're called. Not much going on because this image is incredibly flat. Let's find something a little more robust to play with. Let's go with... let's go with this one. All right. Now what you're seeing in the parade is the visual breakdown of the RGB channels as it corresponds to this image. So you'll notice that where the image is very, very dark, there is not much information. Where the image is brighter, there's more information. What we want to do is push the contrast so that our whites are more up here and our blacks are closer to 0. So let's boost our contrast, and you'll see as we boost it, this is getting wider to represent how we're affecting the image. Let's pivot, and now it's very easy to see what the pivot does to the image. It takes the entire parade as it is and just kind of moves it up and down on that scale. So what you want to do is have your parade kind of towards the middle, and then you push the contrast more. Now you'll see that we're kissing up to the top before we're kissing up down to the bottom. So let's pivot it down a little bit, shall we? Looking better. All right. Let's bring it down a little more and push the contrast a little more. All right, looking good. Again, 0 will show you what you got out of camera, and that is with the effect applied. Okay, now what we want to look for is at the top of the histogram, or sorry, at the top of the parade, you'll see that the red is far below, the green is a little bit below the blue, and we want to correct that. There are a couple ways you can correct that. You could come down here to your color wheels and watch what happens. As we push the blue, you'll see that the blue on the parade is going up. If we push the red, you'll see that the red goes up. If you push the green, you'll see that the green goes up. So what we want to do is, let's reset that, and let's try to get the whites a little more balanced. There's just too much blue. Now we don't want it white because if you look at what's registering, it's these blue insulation caps. So there should be some blue. It shouldn't be perfectly white here because that will throw off the balance of the rest of the image. So let's leave it there, and let's noodle with the offset. The offset will handle your base colors. Actually, that's looking like we have a balanced white in the blacks, which doesn't make much sense, but I think you understand what I mean. What we want is for the red, the green, and the blue to all be around the same place when it hits the 0 mark. This will give you a pure black. If, for example, the blue is too high, you'll see we're losing the feeling that we have a solid black in this image. So when the red, the green, and the blue all line up together on the baseline as close to 0 as possible, what that means is not that you're getting white, it means that you're getting an actually decent black. All right, so you want a clean black at the bottom and a clean white at the top. You'll see that these 3 parades are kind of matching up pretty well. Not bad. Let's boost the saturation a bit. I feel like we're kind of getting a yellowy, orangey look. So let's add our handy dandy RGB curves, and let's bring down the reds just a hair. and you'll see that these will show up on your parades just as clearly as any corrections you do in the wheels. Let's go back to the wheels, see what we can do there. Okay, good enough. Let's move on. Not good. I mean, it's not great, but what are you going to do? This is just a tutorial to give you the basic concepts of how we do our color correcting. Let's go for one of these outside shots, see how that goes. All right, now you'll see that this is insanely flat. Let's boost the contrast and push it, and let's pivot up. So what we're doing is we're taking this image and we're trying to get our blacks down here and our whites up there. Let's continue to boost the contrast and bring that down a little bit. And what you're seeing happen is that what we're doing is mathematically correct, but it's not aesthetically correct. It kind of looks lousy. So there we go. We got white up top, we got the blacks kissing up to 0, and this image looks not that great. It's not bad, but it's not great. So what we want to do is lower the contrast. Let's get into a little bit of style. This is a snowy day. It's supposed to feel kind of hazy and kind of misty. And if we boost the contrast to have this sharp white against the sharp black, you're reducing the hazy, misty feeling. So let's bring our contrast down and let's pivot down a bit. All right, and that's looking better. I would like blacks that are truly black. I want to push that even lower. So we've got contrast, like we've got rich blacks that are definitely black, but we've kind of retained that misty feel. The next thing I want to do is add a blue overcast to the day to cool down the whole image. So let's bring that over. Let's bring that down a little bit. And there we go. You'll see in the parade that blue has now become the dominant color of this image. That is not accidental. It should be blue. We want it to feel like a cold, snowy day, and it's kind of getting past 4:30. The sun might set in the next half hour. We want it to feel cold, to look cold, and to kind of have that feeling of winter. So in cases where you want to get stylized, you should not just have straight white up at the 100 mark and straight black down at the 0 mark. You should get a little bit creative and have some fun with it. When you're all done doing your corrections, save, quit, and you can return to Premiere and finish up your edit or output, whatever you like to do. And that is the basics of parades in Speedgrade. Hope this was useful. Take it easy.